it's rare that we get to champion a VPN on in any regard, because a lot of VPNs, if they're so cheap that they're basically free, that means you're the product. That means that there's data harvesting going on. That means that there's analytics. That means that they're not actually not saving user records. To my knowledge, there are only 3 VPNs that service worldwide that have been independently source code audited top to bottom, that do not store user data and do not have an attack front that is readily available. And that is private internet access, NordVPN, and Surfshark. That third one you're probably questioning. Trust me.
Well, that is Nord. Nord bought them, so that's probably what.
Right. Anyway, but those 3 are the only 3 that I've ever found documentation or had documentation provided that they have been independently source code, server and client audited. So the cool thing is a VPN in Sweden was recently raided by police looking for evidence that a user was using their network. They knocked on the office door, they opened the door, they served the warrant, and they said, we're here to collect any computers, hard drives, data, printouts, screenshots, anything that link this user to your network. And Mullvad VPN had to say, I'm sorry, we don't keep any of that. And then demonstrated to the police their ingest-outgest process as far as the full end-to-end encryption with unknown keys. So the police left with nothing.
Yeah, basically. If you are over in the Swedish area and this is a VPN, that is local to you, perhaps if you don't have NordVPN or the 2 other that Jeff recommended, this seems like a pretty viable option. At least right now, so far, it sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah.
To quote Mullvad.net, we argued they had no reason to expect to find what they were looking for any seizures, and would therefore be illegal under Swedish law. After demonstrating that this is indeed how our service works, and then consulting the prosecutor, they left without taking anything and without any customer information. They also tweeted out the National Operations Department, or NOA, of the Swedish police visited Mullvad VPN with a search warrant with the intention to seize computers with customer data. No customer data was compromised. And then they go on to state, even if the police had seized a company's server, it would not have given them any access to customer information due to the no logging policy. Mullvad.
Tip my hat to you, sir.
I tip my hat. Now have your source code audited. If you're gonna make that claim, prove it. And that's been my thing. I've had dozens of VPNs reach out for sponsorship, ad reads, and the like. And my pushback always is, have you had an independent source code audit? Because I want to know for a fact there's no mechanism, client or server, that can store data. And there's no shared keys. There's no public key. There's no anything else that could compromise what you're advertising, which is
no data being stored.
No data being stored, and full encrypted end-to-end with no known keys. With no first-party owned keys. I want to know it. And if you can't prove it, I won't talk for you. Strangely enough, everyone backs out.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Now, Mullvad did say, like in the article, they demonstrated it to the representative. I would assume that representative would have had some base knowledge of something like this. So it's as close as you might be able to get without them actually going and hiring a third party. Essentially, this is the government, the Swedish government, saying, "Oh, they do what they say."
Right.
So therefore, we cannot take any legal action. and
one
as
of the
far as we can.
reasons that I use NordVPN and I'm still a NordVPN customer is because you can still use OpenVPN as a client. You don't have to use the NordVPN browser extension or any other client on the PC to forward your data. You can connect via an OpenVPN session, and I use that almost primarily. Instead of downloading Nord's apps, I connect directly to one of their VPN hosts with a third-party client, which again is another layer of protection, and it allows you to route traffic via the VPN, which is how I connect all of my home PCs to any VPN that I want to use. Sometimes I use it for testing new PCs because I don't want to accidentally or mistakenly reveal my home IP address, and so I will have it go out through a VPN tunnel. A lot of times when I am doing screen capture, I will simply connect to my VPN gateway and go out that way. So if anything ever pops up, I don't have to second guess it because my IP address, my credentials, anything else are not exposed. Novell Hub says he uses OpenVPN with Mullvad. So until I do some more research, I'm not going to fully get behind it, but we've got like 2 really good sources on Mullvad being fantastic for security. So there you go.
Yeah.